it's live.
Finding room. He pulls the trigger. They score.
5 in a glass case of emotion.
And the Tampa Bay Lightning have now won 6 straight playoff games at home.
This is WHPC Sports Talk.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
On the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
No! No!
I don't even know how to start today.
Get Justin over here.
With that. WHPC Sports Talk. Take the microphone, Mr. Editor-in-Chief.
What is it?
Why did you have to do that?
Well, you know, I feel like we should all mourn together. It was a sad occasion that occurred last night.
So
I had enough sadness with my Mets getting injured, so I felt like I should spread the pain.
Well, we don't care because this was an attack on me.
Wasn't.
Justin's a Ranger fan, too.
Oh, yeah, he is. Big Ranger fan.
I know Ross, Anthony, and me and Mike are diehard Ranger fans, and I felt like this is a learning exercise. We're growing as a group. This is like a family right here. I think so.
Oh, wait, yeah.
And you know, I feel like this was something that was needed. What now you can hear?
I think we're a big step family is what I think.
Oh, weird.
That's what I think.
All right, let's get away from the weirdo Krang over here. And, welcome to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host today, Anthony, joined by Michael Merlo, Josh Umahi, Matt Leonard, and Ross Levine. I can't get over the Who connection because they start out with Bob O'Reilly as the Rangers hype song for the playoffs. Then you go to Behind Blue Eyes. Absolutely soul-crushing there. Just like last night's game. So let's hop into it. Bad. Horrible.
Yeah, no good.
Horrible. Pathetic. Soft.
Disgusting.
Bad team. Horrible team.
Do you think Ross is going to end up right? Think they're losing the series?
Oh, they lost it.
Yeah.
They
Really?
lost it last night. They lost it last night.
Josh, what do you got to say to him? Your line. Say your line.
I think it's
done.
Josh, you're on his side?
you guys are pathetic.
Pathetic. How do you...
I just find it funny how Friday was singing a completely different tone.
We're winning the cup.
All it takes is, I know how playoff sports is, but I know all it takes is two. It's funny that all it takes is two
It
games.
It takes two road losses.
Yeah.
It was bad.
But you do know you do still have home ice advantage, though, right?
Oh, please! I
Out of the next three games,
want to
you got
hear.
two.
I don't care about home ice because they played the way they played last night. It almost feels like having home ice doesn't mean anything, because at least with Game 3 they were competitive. Even though they blew that lead, they were still in it. They were still playing well. If it wasn't for Artemi Panarin, it would have been a shutout. I know that's stating the obvious here, but the team was so bad. Now Filippino's hurt. He's a game-time decision for Game 5. The floor is crumbling underneath us. It's not great.
Yeah, it's. I mean, look, I said the series was over. Season was over after Game 3, just because I felt like it was such a killer loss, and they've even though they've been resilient all season, you knew that was going to stop at some point. You knew at some point that's going to wear off.
Why though? Why would that? If that's the identity of your team, why would that wear off?
Because you're playing the two-time defending Cup champions in the Lightning that are clearly better than the Rangers, and the Rangers don't have the same what they call it when you have all the trophies. You have the rings,
accolades.
Yeah, you have the hardware. The Rangers don't have the hardware, and there's a reason why the Lightning have that hardware. They know how to come back. We unfortunately do not. Maybe in the regular season we do. Maybe even sometimes in the postseason we do. But against the Lightning that has the rings, it's very tough to do. And on top of it, we are just, again, we're the youngest team in the league. Tampa Bay is a team that's been there, has a lot of Hall of Famers on that team. It's a lot different. And, I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's all, it's just Starling, he gives up so many 5-hole goals. Well, no. Yeah, unfortunately, you're facing a ton of high-quality shots, and that's what the Rangers have done all season. They've gotten away with it. Now they're not getting away with it. And part of it, too, and I knew that, too, was going to happen. To me, this was almost inevitable, because if you're going to rely heavily on your goaltender this much, this is going to happen at some point. This is going to happen at some point. The fact is that because you're playing against a more skilled team, you're not going to get away with it as much.
Well, it's funny. You're talking about high opportunity chances for the Lightning. Rangers were just shooting it right at Vasilevsky. They weren't even trying him.
That's
right in the body.
That's why I don't understand like this whole he got to out-goaltend Shesterkin. No! If Shesterkin was on the Tampa Bay Lightning right now, wearing that uniform, he would win 3 Stanley Cups for that team. Because guess what? You're not facing a lot of high-danger quality opportunities. On the Rangers, who rely way too much on their goaltender, now it's really tough. This is why Henrik Lundqvist didn't win a Stanley Cup. Because if this is their strategy, it doesn't work. It just never works. And again, they've had so many teams in the past that have made the playoffs, have tried to win the Stanley Cup, and they've always been having the good regular season players, but do they really have the postseason players? Like, is Panarin a postseason guy? He's a really good player. Is he a postseason guy?
I think there are a lot of 16-game players. That phrase, they go the distance. I think there are a lot of them on this team. My problem is you let Pat Maroon score the first goal. Embarrassing. You want to talk about Reeves being a scrub? This guy's more of a scrub.
Why are Ranger fans so upset that this guy scored the first goal?
Because he's nothing. He's nothing, Mike. He's nothing. He hasn't done anything in this league. He's an instigator. Listen, I'm a big fella. But there's a reason they call him Fat Maroon instead of Pat Maroon.
Why did they interview him before the game? Is there any reason for that?
Because he's veteran presence. There's grit, toughness with him. Who cares? He's not going to score 20 goals in a year. He's a bruiser, and that's what he is. And you let the bruiser score the first goal. That was the telltale sign that this was going to go south. I don't know about you, Ross. What was the moment that was the killing moment for the Rangers?
Probably when the puck dropped for Ross, considering how negative.
Okay, they just suffered a killing loss in Game 3. They looked overmatched in Tampa Bay. They're playing a team that won 2 cups in a row, and what do you expect me to say?
I mean, this is my thing, and obviously
I'm rooting for them, but I'm being realistic.
I get that, and you know more hockey than me, 100%. You're a diehard fan. I'm not. And from what I saw on Sunday, though, was a team that got completely outplayed and yet lost by 1 goal with 40 seconds left in the game. Okay, and last night, listen, they got blown out. They were embarrassed. It was a terrible game. It wasn't even fun to watch. It was terrible. I wasted 2.5 hours of my life last night, to be completely honest with you.
Then you wasted more.
And then I wasted more watching the Met game. Yes,
don't do that.
So, overall, wasted night until played a little blackjack after that. But
how'd you do with that?
I won. After that, I just don't know how you could be so negative coming into that game. Now I get your negativity. I understand that. You lost 2 on the road. You didn't play well overall. You could definitely say that. But you are going home. You do have 2 more games at MSG, and I don't think it's like Carolina in the last series where they're going to win every game at home and they're going to lose every game on the road. You could win games on the road, and Tampa could certainly win a game in MSG, but it's been difficult to do so.
But here's the thing too. I think people got too ahead of themselves when they thought when they won 6-2 in Game 1, because I think everybody thought, because people did not realize, or maybe some people did, they just didn't want to admit it, that they had 9 days off, and I think the Rams got them rusty. They caught them at the right time.
Even the second game too.
But here's the thing. In the first 2 periods, I 100% agree with you. In the third period of Game 2, this is where you start to see the Lightning start to become the Tampa Bay Lightning.
They figured it out.
They figured it out. Yes, they did not win that game, but it also because Shesterkin made an unbelievable save in the final minute of regulation that kept it 3-2. If that puck goes in and they lose in overtime, you're down 3-1, and it's definitely over.
Do you think the series goes 7?
I think we lose in 6. I think we're done.
So you're not going to win another game. You're going to lose Game 5, lose Game 6.
We're going to get backward swept. Sweep.
Wow.
Yeah. I think we're done. I think we're just mentally shot.
It's a good run, though.
It's a great run. Look, they had a great season. There's nothing you can say that may have had a bad season.
And I'll say this again. We may get swept.
I cannot believe this.
We may get reverse swept right now.
Yes.
But the solace is we were not in the playoffs last year.
Exactly.
And we did what the Islanders did.
Do you realize how pathetic you guys sound? Okay. 3 games left, 2 of them at home. The season was great.
You got
it was an unbelievable season.
Mike, let me tell you something right now.
It still is.
The reverse jinx has worked almost every time this year.
Okay.
And I'm going to stick
When Ross says they're going to lose, they
All
win.
right.
So let's just let Ross say they're going to lose.
Keep it going. I guess keep it going.
And by the way, first of all, for it to be 2 games at home in the next 3, we actually have to win one of the next 2 games. Are we going to win one of the next 2 games? I'm not so sure. I mean, yes, you could say it's hard to win at the Garden. The Rays have been great at the Garden, but you have
They're
to realize,
beatable. 100. I get that.
yes, they are very beatable. And again, I said this before this series. This was house money. It really doesn't mean, like, yes, of course you want to beat Tampa Bay, but I'm also at the same time, I'm like, did anybody expect us to be here? And did anybody expect us to even win 2 games against Tampa? No, let's be honest. And I see credit. I see value in that. Yes, I want them to win. And I understand there's going to be people out there like, well, you're up 2-0, you should win the series. Well, guess what? Tampa Bay's won 2 cups for a reason. They know how to come back in series. This is not like we're playing against an old Boston Bruins, Pittsburgh Penguins team. I can understand if we lost to Pittsburgh. That's a little frustrating. But this is a better team that we're playing. This is a more experienced team that we're playing. And until the Rangers learn how to win, they're not going to win. They have to learn how to win first against these teams to know how to win. They need to know how to lose first to learn actually how to win. And right now, they don't know how to beat Tampa Bay. And when Tampa Bay's at their full strength and healthy and, not rusty.
And we, of course, are missing that they're doing this without Braden Point.
Yeah.
So let's say they do rush him back from injury, which is highly likely because they did it with Kucherov last year.
Yeah, and it worked.
Braden Point comes back even in Game 6. You got to win Game 5.
Yeah, and that's
because there's no way you're winning Game 6 in Tampa with Braden Point. There's no way.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And look, they've been so. It's one of the most resilient seasons they've seen the Rangers have in a very long time. But at some point, that luck, or I don't want to say luck, but that resiliency or that effort to try to fight back, that does start to kind of run out at some point. And when you play against a Tampa Bay team that is well experienced, has all-stars, has Hall of Famers on their team, it is a lot different. It's why when I watch the games and I see the kid line struggle a little bit, I'm like, whatever, they're kids. And then guess what? They're playing against future all-stars, Hall of Fame players. Who do you think is going to win that battle? Probably the Hall of Famers. So based off of that, they don't have much of a chance. And if they do win, it's an added bonus. And guess what? Could the Rangers win tomorrow? Sure. It could happen. I'm not betting it, but it could happen. My thing, though, is don't be upset if they lose. Don't be surprised if they lost. And it's why after the second period yesterday, when they were down 2-0, and I'm watching with my dad, I'm like, this game's over. And I'm like telling my dad, don't watch it, because you're going to be more annoyed. And guess what? He watched it. It was 3-0. I didn't even watch it.
Wow.
So, because I knew it was over.
All right. Mike, you gonna bet on Game 5?
No, I had a couple bets going last night, though.
Well, that Kreider, I wanted to tell you, he sent a group photo to a group chat, and he said Kreider over three shots on goal.
Yeah.
Not good.
It hit.
Oh, it hit.
But Panarin didn't.
Well, he's the pass first guy.
Yeah, he had my friend loved Panarin over, 3 or more goals. And of course the Yankees money line was in that bet. And you could basically put your life savings on the Yankees anytime they play the Twins, and you're going to win.
Well, I want to get into the Yankees in a second, but let's transition to the Mets here really quickly.
I hate you for this.
You know what this is?
Yeah, the 86 thing, right?
Do you know what this is?
I don't.
It's the 86 thing.
They got the teamwork to make the dream work and get injured in the process. What a rough game for you last night.
It was a rough game, and sit here and make fun of other human beings getting hurt is a really not great thing to do. So That just kind of shows the character you have.
Oh, because I'm doing because I'm doing that. I'm making fun of Pete Alonso.
You're the bad guy here.
I'm the bad guy.
So let's just let's discuss. Pete Alonso gets hit in the hands last night. Not a good situation.
No.
Yu Darvish hits 3 of the first 5 batters in the game. So good job, you. But yeah, not a great night for the Mets. And just get rid of the loss. And they lost 7-0. Walker gave up 4 early runs, settled in, went 6, which was important to save a little bit of the pen. But the biggest thing is Marte getting injured and Alonso. And from all indications, Marte is going to go on the IL. I think it's his quad. And when the Mets signed him, that was the one thing I didn't love about him, and unless he's been really good this season.
He had a very good May.
He was good. He's been really solid. He adds a different element to this team, but this was the one reason why I did not want him. And hopefully, it's only few weeks, and he can get back. But that's concerning. We'll get to Pete after the call.
All right, caller, what's going on?
Hey, Anthony. Good morning.
What's up, Krang?
Home. And it just seems like you're getting so much joy, which is ironic because you were furious when I played the intro for you to start the show with the Rangers, and now the glee in your voice when you are talking about the
You know what the glee was? You know what the glee was? Is that somebody in 1986 was like, yeah, let's get a crappy glam rock song for the 86 Mets. Let's do that. That's what the joy was.
Yeah. No, Justin, he is cheering and smiling over prominent New York Mets getting injured, which is just a really sick thing to do.
It's disgusting, but I expect no different or anything.
No, he's done. I'm not even going to let him.
Wow.
Oh, my God. To continue.
You are
I'm not giving him the justice to continue because this is slanderous stuff.
I think it's slanderous from you, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, how is that?
I think that, A, freedom of speech, you're not giving Justin freedom of speech right now. That's number one. And number 2, you are making fun of injuries. And I'm
not, though. I'm making fun of the fact. Okay, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you know what,
don't
you guys.
Don't be Sean Payton. Don't be throwing money.
No, I'm not throwing.
I'm sorry. I had to put that out.
Josh caught a straight shot there.
Yeah, I caught a straight, but Bounty Gate was a success. So.
No, you know what it is? It's just
my ring, Ross.
I had to do that. Sorry.
You know what it is? It's just that you guys have been through so much. You go out west, you have a decent start, a very good start, actually, to the West Coast road trip, and then this happens.
It's one game they lost. They won the first game.
Not that. I'm just saying the injuries.
And
Marte, Alonso. It's like you guys can't escape it.
Okay, yeah.
And hopefully, it seems like nothing. The X-rays on Alonso came back negative.
How old? By the way, how old is Marte? Just by the way.
You know what? I said what I said about Marte. And I think that's it. We're not going to go back, Ross, and flame them for...
The point is...
Marte's an older guy. We get that, and that was the risk.
That's not... No, look, I didn't mind the Marte signing. I was okay with it. I actually didn't mind that signing. I'm not ripping the Mets for that signing. My point is that it's a sign, and this is throughout sports. I'm not just calling out the Mets for this. This is what happens when you consistently sign players to ages over 30. To 4-year deals.
But they got to sign somewhere.
I understand that, but you cannot rely on guys staying healthy who are guys that are over 30 years old.
And again, I did not like it. I didn't like 4 years to him, to Marte. And I don't want. We're not playing Monday morning quarterback. Though. We can't. We're not playing Monday morning quarterback with this.
No, and look, I think Epler did a very good job when it came to the rotation. And we're getting Scherzer.
Here it comes.
And depth, and don't just say the starting rotation.
Escobar was good.
Depth everywhere on the,
Yes, he did a very good job at getting the rotation and getting depth. But there's a big but. Is he did not do a great job when it comes to fixing this pen. And Wayne Randazzo, who on the Mets radio, has now come to agreement with me.
Ross, Everybody agrees with you. The Mets agree with you. The New York Mets agree with you. The Mets agree with you. In an article from Andy Martino, not only do they believe they need one or two more late-inning relievers, they want more starting pitchers. So again, to talk about this week after week, we can't.
They gave you the big middle finger when it comes to the offseason. That's all I'm saying. Again,
they spent how much money? They added to the bullpen, actually. Yes, Ottavino. They added a late inning guy to the bullpen.
Jolie Rodriguez?
And yet, two guys, sorry.
Drew Smith?
And yet, Drew Smith was here, and he's elite.
I know.
And on top of it,
3-run homer.
And on top of it, we're still the Mets had a fantastic offseason, but because
I'm not even mad at Marte. I'm really not. I'm more mad at the bullpen than Marte. That's it.
Okay.
That's all. All I'm saying,
Ross, for a bullpen that to this point really had, other than a couple of blown saves,
but it's not even about
Diaz,
the blowns.
Exactly. How many games does this bullpen actually cost you?
I'm not even talking about the blown saves. I'm talking about when they're up by 7-0 and then it's 7-6. That's my point. It's not even about the blown saves. Like,
do they win the game?
Yeah, because their offense was great.
Okay. Well, they're winning games. They're winning games right now, and when it comes down to it, when they absolutely need to go get bullpen help, they will do that. They will go add to that bullpen.
I agree with
That's
you.
what they will do.
I agree.
And Ross, I agree with you that we're having the same fight. I can't do it anymore.
Look, you know why I wasn't thrilled by it, because I didn't love, and I remember ripping him. I didn't rip him, but I was kind of I was questioning it when Cohen said after spring training was over, and I love Steve Cohen. And I think he's been great. I didn't love when he said, "I think we're good." I didn't love that.
Oh, what is he supposed to say? You know what?
Keep looking.
You know what? We just spent $278 million on our payroll.
Get a bullpen.
But I don't think we're good. I honestly don't think we're good. What do you expect him to say?
We're going to keep looking.
How about the article yesterday at SMY that said the Mets want to add to the bullpen? They will add to the bullpen because they had guys here that they believed in that have not worked out. Diaz, who's been good. Lugo, who's been okay. They had Drew Smith. They signed Ottavino. They had Trevor May, who they signed last season. They had guys in this bullpen, and it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, and they will now go and add pieces needed at the deadline. I can't give you a name. I can't give you a name. Look, I'm not blaming Epler for on Trevor May. That's not his signing. The point I'm trying to make here is that I feel like if a lot of these guys that got hurt, right, that Trevor May, when he got hurt, I said it was addition by subtraction. Look, let's say one day this season, hypothetically speaking, that Adam Ottavino got hurt. Again, I'm going to say the same thing. Addition by subtraction. Okay. I just feel like that's with a lot of these players. If they got hurt, I'm like, okay. Except Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz, I don't want him to see him get hurt because I think he's been very good.
Hold on. When he says that, addition by subtraction with injury, that's okay. But I laugh.
I was waiting for you to comment on this.
No. I laugh at the fact that the Mets can't escape the injury bug, right? Even under new ownership. But he's laughing at the players, which I wasn't. Okay,
it's different. Pete Alonso, that's different.
Mr. Merlo, is the air clear?
I don't agree with him. So I don't think any injury to any bullpen arm is good because then it just raises lower level guys to higher leverage situations. So I disagree with him. But Anthony, I can't have the same fight every week. I'm going insane.
Look, they've been very good.
I cannot have the same argument.
I'm not arguing. Look, the Mets have been very good. They're 38-20.
They're the best team in the National League.
They've been very good. All I'm saying is that when you're seeing guys, and now great, this is good. McGill's coming back at some point, which is very, very good.
Friday or Saturday.
Friday, yes. But the point I'm trying to make here is that there's always a risk to when you sign older players to big time contracts.
I'll call Billy Epler and let him know.
That's a fact with anybody.
100%. I completely agree with you.
That's you could say the same thing about Max Scherzer. As much as I love Max Scherzer, and he will be a Hall of Famer one day, that contract, there's a risk to those contracts.
Risk to every contract you sign, big or small.
Yeah, every team in the league, what we're discussing now, bullpen, older guys with soft tissue injuries, it's all, every team deals with that. So the Mets are 38, they're 38-20 now. It's kind of... I guess we try to find something that's wrong or an issue with every team in the league, so that's natural, especially in New York. But I think that, the Mets were fine up until last night. The real concerning thing, what I want to get to, is the Pete Alonso injury.
Yeah.
Because everything that the Mets have sustained this season, the starting pitching injuries, 3/5 of the rotation being out, it's all, the sky was falling, especially to me when Scherzer went out. And then this team just kept hitting and hitting and hitting, and timely hits, clutch hits, losing the first 2 games of the series against Los Angeles, winning the last 2 with clutch, timely hits. And Pete Alonso was a big part of that. Starling Marte was a huge part of that. But then you get these injuries to your everyday players. This is where I start to get real concerned.
Yes.
I'm getting really, really concerned. I know Pete Alonso's x-rays came back negative, but again, they're saying that he couldn't grip anything last night. So he's going to be out for, a little bit.
He's going to be out, and he's the biggest loss. You're 100% right. When you lose Scherzer, it's like, okay, it stinks. It's deflating.
He only plays once every 5 days.
He plays once every 5 days with Pete, who's been your most, I think, valuable offensive player this season.
Yes.
It hurts a lot. I was very upset when he went down yesterday. And you just got to hope for the best. That if it's a week or 2, if it's 2 weeks, you sign up for that. If it's a week or 2,
okay. Yeah. And honestly, that's the Mets. This is another obstacle course that they need to climb.
Well,
is Alonso being out and Marte.
By the way, again, I said it yesterday. They're 13 and now 6 after last night. Since Scherzer's went down, and again, that's also without DeGrom and McGill. They have been resilient all season long. Anything that's happened, they've stepped right up. And we've seen it even with Yankee teams, in 17, 18, and 19, they dealt with a ton of injuries, and they won over 100 games, close to it, and they were successful and made runs in the playoffs. That's what defines special seasons and special teams. And let's see if the Mets have that kind of, fight and grit. And I think they do.
Oh, they absolutely do.
I'm under that impression that they do have that. But next man up.
And and by the way, when it comes to like injuries and stuff like that, we're not blaming the players, by the way, when guys get hurt. I mean, Pete Alonso got hit by a pitch. That's not his fault.
No, can we talk about that a little more too? Because I've never seen, and maybe this is hyperbole, but I've never seen just one team get constantly hit by pitches significantly more than other teams. I mean, you said it, Mike. Just Darvish hitting 3 guys in
the first 5
batters. That's insane, and we've seen that all season long.
And I'm not one
That's crazy.
I'm really not a retaliation guy.
But at what point is it too much?
I think tonight somebody has to get hit.
It has to.
I really
Machado,
do believe. I'm a Manny Machado fan, but if he takes one in the back, I wouldn't mind. I'm serious. You really do have to start showing a little bit.
You can't go after Luke Voit, though. Prize possession.
Why can't you?
I hate Luke Voit. I have a weird hatred for Luke Voit. He just looks like... What's the word?
Why, he looks like a boxer or something?
Oh,
like,
my
what does
God.
He look like?
He just looks like the biggest a-hole imaginable. Like, he really does. I really hate that guy.
Well, he already has, he had that sports hernia, then he had, like, the back injury, so just him in the back a little bit more.
If Buck agrees with you, Mike, I'm sure he'll get one in.
Somebody's got to get drilled tonight. They do. And enough is enough, and I don't think it stops it. The Mets have been so good offensively. The MO, most likely, and a lot of these guys, is go inside to try and stop them, and that's what I'm guessing they're doing. Obviously, I don't think anything last night was intentional. I mean, the 2 out of the 3 guys were hit on curveballs, breaking balls, that hit them, in the leg or whatever. So, it was nothing. But Alonso's is a fastball inside. So clearly his intention was, let's try and jam him so he can't get his hands extended.
So here's a follow-up question. Let's say you have Bassett go after a guy. I'm assuming that's who...
He's going tonight, yeah.
I don't know.
Do you want Bassett to throw it?
No, it depends on the situation. If the Mets are up,
because let's be honest, if the ump sees this coming, Bassett might be out in the game.
Right, no, you can't really have Bassett do it unless it's late in the game. It's the 6th or the 7th. The Mets have a nice lead. And, the opportunity calls for it. Machado steps up. And I'm a big Manny Machado fan, but the opportunity calls for it. Bang, right in the back.
Right.
Let's go.
And also, I mean, and the big thing, too, that I think is, and this is, I think, part of why people still hit the Mets. When they were hit 28 times, and this was happening against the car with that whole brawl thing happened with Nolan Arenado, baseball did nothing about it. They were like, "Screw you, Mets. We're figure it out yourself." And and I think these pitchers still kind of realize that and being like, "Yeah, okay."
Let me ask you something though. They had conversation with Major League Baseball, and Buck admitted, and obviously that was a story, and Buck had said the conversations went well. My biggest question, even when they're talking to Major League Baseball, what are they going to do? What is going to happen to these guys? You're not going to suspend somebody for hitting the Mets once. You're not going to do that.
And yet, which I strongly disagreed with, was when the Mets played the Phillies and Medina hit Kyle Schwarber. Or I forgot who it was, but he hit somebody, Alec Boehm. And
it was late in the game, right?
It was late in the game, and they suspended Medina for 3 games.
That was Yohan Lopez.
Lopez, which I strongly disagreed with.
That was the Cardinal. That was the Cardinal game.
No, he hit Schwarber, remember? He threw inside of Schwarber.
Yeah, but I thought he was no, but Yohan
Lopez, suspended for the Cardinals.
He was
thing.
suspended for the Cardinals thing. He wasn't suspended for anything with Philly.
But to me, like
he was kicked out of the game, though, wasn't he?
But why do you even suspend the Mets player for anything when they hit a batter? I mean, at the end of the day, they've been hit 40 times. So, not the time they didn't get hit 40 times, but at the time they hit 28 times or something like that.
Still a lot.
Listen, if
you get hit by a pitch, why should they get suspended?
Listen, if tonight the Mets get hit again, and then, a reliever comes in and throws out a Padre, then if they get thrown out, if they get suspended, the Mets have every right to be really, really mad. He appealed that suspension, Lopez, whatever, it went down. It wasn't a big deal. But you're right. No Met should be suspended in these situations when they're trying to defend their team.
By the way, too, this is a whole conversation that aggravates me, too. The idea of intentionally throwing at somebody for get back, right? I mean, I've as a baseball fan, I've detested it for years, but even I'm saying now, it's gotten to a point with the New York Mets where it's like you have to stand up for yourself and the players in the clubhouse. So
show him now. He's going to take the pitches getting hit,
Yeah, you can't just sit there and take it. You got to get some get back. So
I just don't understand.
Definitely looking for that.
I don't understand. I don't know I don't know if there's a solution. I just think they're going to keep getting hit, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
at this point,
you think there's any reason why? Think we'll ever get an explanation?
Oh, it's a problem within Major League Baseball that these guys do not care where the pitch is going. They care about how fast it is. And that's about it. They don't care about location. If it slips here and there, it's like, okay, whatever. That's how they feel, whether it's a breaking ball, whether it's a fastball. They do not care. They want it in there as hard as possible.
Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say Pete's out for a week. Do you call up Dom Smith, or are you okay with J.D. Davis playing?
I think they would have to call up Dom Smith, and I wanted to get to this. Dom Smith, who cries and cries and cries about playing time, who wanted to be traded because he wasn't going to be a starter. Well, Dom Smith, there's a good chance you're going to have an opportunity to come up and play. And he's been at AAA. He's been hitting a little bit. He hit his first home run since God knows when, AAA or minor or major leagues. So he's going to have an opportunity to come up and play a big part on this team at an important time. So if he does come up, which I think he should, 100%, I don't think you can rely on J.D. Davis to be at your everyday first baseman. I think he's been solid DHing.
Yeah.
I think he's really picked it up. He's been hitting the ball hard, and it's finally landing.
Yeah.
Not in somebody's glove. They're going to have to bring up Dom Smith, and he's going to get his opportunity. And to me, this would be his last straw.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think look, there are other guys you can go with. There's this guy Daniel Paca. I think that's his name.
He's been hitting, yeah.
That's a guy. That's an option. Again, you don't want to rush somebody, but at this point,
he's an older guy. He's been in the majors.
Yeah. Then it's not really a worry with that stuff. And I think he's been pretty good in the minors.
I'll take a look.
But yeah, Dom Smith. Yeah, this is his last shot. If he does get the call up, I don't want to hear any complaints. If he's back, if he's like 5 for 30, let's say, that's his at bats, and there's stats that show that. If that actually happens to be the case, I don't want to hear a single word from Dom Smith. If that's the case,
I couldn't agree more. And like you guys said, for one, I think Dom Smith does get the call up, but you can't. This upcoming stretch without Pete Alonso is going to tell me a lot about Dom Smith.
About the Mets too.
The Mets too, yeah, but especially Dom Smith because, like you guys said, if you're going to complain about playing time, and again, I do believe he's the type of guy that does need regular playing time and at-bats to be his best self.
Yeah.
But, well, here you go. Yeah, here's your opportunity. You better take advantage of it.
And also, when he comes up to bat, you better not be complaining with the umpires consistently. You better not. He does it every time, and you wonder why you're batting 190. You don't do that, Dom.
Great call out. Daniel Paca, 30 years old, lefty. Actually came in 5th place in Rookie of the Year voting in 2018, hit 27 home runs in 124 games. And this season in AAA, he's got 10 home runs, 33 RBIs, batting .241 with a 798 OPS in 162 at-bats. So, yeah, I mean, this would be a more veteran guy, I would say. Who do you trust? Do you go with Palka, who's in AAA? Or do you go with Dom Smith?
I'm trusting the veteran. I'm going to go with the vet.
He's playing right field as well, so he can play outfield.
Yeah, I'm doing the veteran.
Versatility is always good.
Yeah, versatility is always good, and also Dom Smith, dude, stay in Syracuse. I mean, you have not performed in the major leagues this year. You were batting 190. You were chirping at Buck Showalter. You know what? You're not coming just up just because of an injury just yet. You're staying down there, and you're working on things, and we want to be sure when you come up, you're ready, because you are not ready.
And by the way, solid in right field and solid in first base.
He's a veteran. Call him up.
You know what I think? Like, even for Dom Smith, you want to be a full-time starter somewhere? Do well right now. Build that trade value so you can go and start somewhere. Mm-hmm. If you're still complaining about that, this is your opportunity.
When the Mets sent Smith down, it was almost like they had said at the time, it was last week Tuesday, they just needed starting pitching. I think, bullpen relief. That was the reasoning.
Yeah.
And that was also after Plummer had hit 2 home runs in 2 days. So, yes, you're not going to send Plummer down to bring up another pitcher. That would have been the move before the 2 great games. But I don't know. I think there was more meaning to that.
Yeah.
And maybe it was to say, we'll see it, especially if he doesn't come up. If they do go with this kid, Daniel Paca, do they say, you know what, this is just for Dom to try and raise his value as much as possible because he doesn't have much right now, and we try and make a trade for him?
I think once Dominic Smith said, after when he was chirping, when he said the whole tweets about to Buck Showalter, and then Plummer hit the 2 home runs in a couple of days, that to me sealed the deal for Dom Smith being on Met after July 31st. Mm-hmm. I think he's done. I think they're going to trade him. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I think they're going to trade him, and I think they're going to find somebody for him, even if it's like a blue chip guy. I think they're kind of done with Dom Smith, and it's a shame. And because actually,
it is a shame because
he was a good player.
He was a good player
at 2020.
The heart is there, but the ego gets in the way a little too many times.
And if you have that, you better perform.
What ego? Like, why does this guy have an ego?
Mm-hmm. But I don't know why he does. I don't understand why you have an ego when you're batting 200 in your. I mean, I don't know what his career average is, but it's 220. I mean, it's pathetic. Other than the 1 year in 2020 when nobody cares. Let's be honest.
Nobody was there to criticize him the whole time.
And you got to remember, juice baseballs.
He's a career 247 hitter.
Yeah, you can't be putting your mouth somewhere when you're batting 247.
I would get it if he hit like 40 bombs a year at 247. I would take that, but he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Matt, I talked to you this previously. Taijuan Walker.
Yeah.
I think he might be one of the most boring starting pitchers in baseball.
Because he doesn't strike anybody out.
I don't know if it's that.
What is it?
His wind-up or something like that. It's just like... It sucks the soul out of you just watching this guy pitch. How am I weird?
The most exciting thing about him is his pickoff move. He has a great pickoff.
He has a pickoff move.
Pickoff move.
His hair is terrible.
Well, I'll tell you this: you're gonna have a better pitching matchup tonight. Sean Manaea against Chris Bassett.
That should be good. You can tell me, right? Like you, I think you're the most fashionable person in here.
He is.
Not today, maybe, but usually that's not a shot at you because I think I look the best today. Okay. But you're usually always well dressed, Josh. Can you tell me about his hair? Like, is there's something wrong, right?
It's a little out there.
It doesn't look good.
He's trying to stand out, bro. He's trying to stand out.
His hair or Lindor's hair?
I would take Lindor's hair.
Okay, I would take Lindor's hair, too.
If it's Lindor,
here's a little bet. Let's make a little bet.
No.
If something happens, you have to get the Lindor hair.
Dye his hair blue?
If the Mets win the World Series... You have to get the Lindor hit.
What kind of bet is that?
No, if the Yankees win the World Series, I'll do something like that.
Okay.
Oh.
Why would I punish myself for the biggest happiness of my life?
That's a great point.
Okay, if the Yankees win.
Honest to God, this is gonna be a good segue into the Yankees. So the other day, I forget where I was, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I've never really experienced Yankee dominance. Since I've really become a diehard fan, they've literally been like the Cowboys. All this talk, regular season success, bang in the postseason.
That's a good comp. That's a really good comp.
Listen, we won something this century.
Let me go.
2009.
Right, true. Let me go. So I'm sitting here thinking they're this good, and I don't think that they have the type of roster right now to say, oh, they're going to be good for 10 plus years. They don't have that. They got a lot of older guys. But I'm thinking, I wasn't alive when the Yankees were winning just World Series after World Series, and I truly feel bad for my Met fans, including my dad, who were Met fans throughout this, having to live with this fan base that is just so difficult to deal with and live with in this city when they were on top, and now I'm thinking they're 40-15. If they win the World Series, my life is going to be miserable.
That's interesting.
You're going to have blue hair.
And the Mets can go to the NLCS and have this fantastic season and lose, and obviously I'd be upset, but deep playoff run, that's great.
Nobody would care. Like outside of Mets fans,
nobody would care, and then B, it would just be so miserable.
So you'd feel like Islanders fans feel right now.
Yeah.
But here's the difference, though. It's like they always like when you listen to radio shows, they always criticize the Mets. That's the thing. No matter what, like even when they're winning, they do criticize. You listen to the Case show, they always do.
The Yankees are the golden boy, and we
give them credit when the Mets are 38-20.
You'd be lucky to even get away with a little criticism of the Yankees, right?
Look,
you can't complain about Joey Gallo, or you're spoiled, right?
But you see, but that's the difference, right? It's like when the Mets were 30-20. Well, when there are 30-20 right now, it's like, oh well, you would have likened this game. Like if the Mets won 2 out of 3, they win 2 out of 3 tonight. Let's say they win tonight.
Yeah.
And Chris Bassett pitches really, really well, which I actually think he'll bounce back tonight. And let's say the Yankees did the exact same thing to the Padres. They won 2 out of 3. It would be like, well, the Yankees really won 2 out of 3. They look really, really good. The Mets won 2 out of 3. It's like, you really needed that other game.
That is a very warped perspective. But I think that comes from just the history of the Mets. But it's unfair.
Yeah.
Because the Mets are having a fantastic season. And you know what? The Met fans in the room and you listening out there, I'm sorry about that because this is a fun team to watch outside of Taijuan Walker. But you guys, you should be happy about such a already improvement of last year and hopefully a successful year with an NLCS appearance.
And the funniest thing is here, I watch the Yankees when I can, and I read up on the Yankees, and I do whatever research I can to be able to talk about the Yankees. And I always did this, I always want to stay in touch before I was doing the show. But when it comes to my fandom, which is, different, because I am a diehard Met fan, personally, and I mean this, I don't care what the Yankees did. Like, I don't care if they won or lost. Right? Stop smiling. I really don't. Unless they're playing a team in my division, then it's go Yankees. But other than that, I don't care. So again, all this comparison, Mets or Yankees, and the different treatment that these teams get, to me, it's childish. The Mets are so different than they've been in their history. So stop looking at me like that. It's so different with this team, because they have a new ownership, new manager, new front office. It's all so different.
You should be happy. You should be proud.
But you know what? All I hear from some Mets fans and MLB fans in general, it's like, oh, the Mets are doing good, but before this month started,
wait till it comes down.
Wait until June. Wait until July.
After the All-Star break, people think they're going to collapse. It's sad.
It's always a story with the New York Mets.
So annoying.
So we're waiting for.
They will never get. They can win the next 3 World Series. They'll never get away from that.
Oh no! Stop.
No,
if
I'm
they
right.
Could win the next.
No,
3
that's
World
actually
Series.
a fact.
I'm right.
That's a fact.
People will still have LOL Mets in their mind. Yep. It's never going to stop.
Look, it's why it's so funny because when you listen to shows like they never give the Mets credit until they win a World Series, and even then, it's probably not going to be like
something will happen. Something will happen. Oh, they scheduled the parade on a rainy day. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It'll be that. The franchise can't do anything right. That's what it would be.
And it's and then it's like when guys get hurt on the Mets, it's like, oh, blame the Mets. Oh, it's all their fault. Like Alonso got hurt yesterday. It's all their like.
Fire the training staff. No,
So it's their fault that Lindor like shut his the door on his finger. Like
but that's
really,
a little like. Embarrassing,
though.
But he missed one game because his finger was hurting.
No,
It's
a little.
That's the Mets' fault. They knocked the door into Lindor.
People were starting like,
I know, yeah.
Lindor hit his finger on a hotel door. It's always the weird injuries that happen with the Mets.
Look
Scherzer's dog on his hand.
Right.
Remember that?
Oh,
by the way,
the June Mets. Like that's all.
People saying like Scherzer's gonna get rabies, and I'm like, shut up.
They flirted. And obviously, thank God, didn't happen. They flirted with LOL Mets. Big injuries. Like if he broke his finger and was out for a week or so or a few days, like they really, really flirted with it. But
and it's some people in the fan base too, like some self-loathing fans that'll be like, "Oh well, it's about that time of the year."
There are some fans that are just so that Frank the Tank.
Oh God, I can't stand him.
Negative Met fan on this planet. And then there's others on Twitter, Mets Twitter, that'll joke about things, but. One of the guys I follow who's like kind of a realist, he goes, man, the Mets really wanted to be LOL Mets to start June with these injuries. I'm like, I can't disagree. They almost did.
I have to find, someone put out a joke tweet today that was like, oh, in honor of Pete Alonso and Starling Marte getting hurt and the sky falling, they are taking down the Tom Seaver statue immediately.
Yes, I saw that.
That's so stupid.
And there's actually like a fence around the Tom Seaver statue. I think there's a concert or something, so they want these idiots, doing anything to the statue because Met games, we obviously respect that statue.
Okay.
Also, you see Justin Bieber. I know you guys don't even.
No, you're not doing this. No, I don't care. He's not singing the national anthem.
Justin Bieber concert, June 14th at Madison Square Garden, be the same day as Rangers Game 7 against the Lightning.
Oh boy!
No, not the same day.
So that's that's scheduled right now. So I'm thinking, Rangers. Like I got my tickets on Ticketmaster right now.
For Bieber or for the...
You guys better get the hell out of the Garden and go play at UBS somewhere because Justin Bieber's got a concert that night.
Takes precedent.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. You're looking at me with a weird face.
Bieber takes priority over the NHL.
I'm dead serious. They better have this Bieber concert.
Hockey's Canadian, so he is too. So maybe I don't know.
No. He has to be nowhere near any hockey franchise. You see what happens with the Yankees.
Yes, I've seen that.
Can't have it. Mike, you got a lock for us or no?
I can have one.
Okay.
Hit the button.
You want to circle back to you later?
No, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
It's a very...
Oh, yeah, easy. I got it, yeah.
Just press the thing.
I got it, yeah. Good, I got it.
Okay. Mike... Oh, wait.
Michael Merlo, Stone Cold Lock Game of the Century of the Year of the Millennium.
It's been a little while.
Every season, the Major League Baseball says to the New York Yankees, here you go. Here are 7 victories on a platter, and we'll just hand it to you. Not only are we taking the New York Yankees tonight, but with Nestor Cortez on the mound, we will take them on the road. -1.5.
Okay.
The run line tonight.
Speaking of those New York Yankees, last night, congratulations to the New York Yankees.
No.
Congratulations.
No.
Great win.
No.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Because let me tell you something, they still, to this day, with the Twins doing every 2 years, they overhaul the roster, and guess what? Nothing changes with the Twins. They always lose to the Yankees, and the Yankees always humiliate them. And it was nice, you laughed at me for the Gio Urshela stuff. I don't really miss him. Gary Sanchez, au revoir. I don't care. I mean, this was great.
You gotta listen to this text I sent today. So there's this TikTok sound going around.
Okay.
About missing players and things like that. It's like a song. I can't really sing it, so I won't sing it. But it's
what's it called?
I forget. It's like a sped up.
Mike
Disney
knows
version.
nothing about music, so good luck trying to find out.
It's just like in the song. It's just it literally says like thinking about you, miss you. So it's like a flashback.
Yeah.
So the amount of Yankee fans that have posted videos of Didi and Gary and Gio and Gardner, you're crying about mid players.
Listen, number 11. Well, hold on. Number 11 is going to be in Monument Park.
I'll play the sound. I'll play the sound.
That's embarrassing.
I said Yankee
People
fans.
are posting that with Didi Gregorius, you're saying.
Didi Gregorius, Gary Sanchez, Brett Gardner.
By the way,
Gio
Facebook
Urshela.
Live may get muted now that you did that.
Why?
Because copyright infringement.
The whole thing?
Yeah, the whole video is going to be muted now.
No.
Yeah, I just thought of it after you did it. I'm sorry.
Would that help?
Oh my
No,
God.
don't do
it's
it.
already 10 seconds.
Facebook doesn't have that, so.
Damn.
Yeah.
I love going back and watching myself on Facebook.
It may work, just because it's over a certain amount of time. That's what it is. I have no idea what the amount of time is,
It's
but
like 4 seconds.
it may work. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
That's why we keep music on the morning show and put it on Facebook Live. That's the reason.
Stop congratulating yourself.
I'm
over
going to congratulate
beating your
them.
stepbrothers.
No, that would be the Mets.
No, it wouldn't.
I hate you.
Let me tell you right now, after last night with the Mets, I'm telling you, you're losing Game 5 of the World Series of the Yankees.
I'll take getting in the World Series. I would take that.
No, I can't. I would rather not make the World Series
Then lose to the Yankees?
than lose to them in the World Series. I know that sounds like the biggest
That sounds like the Rangers thing you were commenting on before.
No, that's completely different.
It depends it depends how you lose in the finals. If you lose in like 5 to Colorado, I'm not that upset by that.
No, I swear to God.
What's the matter? You don't want to. You don't want to.
I can't
a beat down from
no, I
Big
can't.
The
deal
fans
with
are the
you
problem,
guys.
not the Yankees themselves.
I'm not going to be that nasty.
Not you. There are other Yankee fans out there that
you
will
know
be
what?
horrible
You know
about
what?
it.
Hey, they'll just throw some beers at you. They'll throw like some.
Right, exactly. It's not losing to the team, the Yankees.
It's the fans.
Because they have a very good team, and if the Mets did lose, okay, you lost to a very, very good team. That's fine. It's the fans. I couldn't deal with them.
Could you imagine? This is a dream scenario, but I mean, not the first part, but you lose to the Yankees in the World Series, you steal Aaron Judge. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh my God.
Imagine that.
Because then, after that,
you ever see Jaws like the scene in Finding Nemo where like the shark gets like the smells of blood and his eyes pop out? Michael just looked like that.
Because that is so different. Like, they would hang it over with you. Oh, but we beat you in the World Series. Yeah,
we're going to win the next 4.
We got your guy. We got your guy.
Oh, speaking of the guy, how much did his contract go up yesterday?
Keeping track? 0. It actually went down negative because a home run against them does not count.
Oh, so they
nothing counts against them. The Yankees should actually have 7 games deducted from their schedule, from their record, because of these games on the schedule. That's how I feel about them playing the Twins.
You're not a big fan of Twins? You don't like the new stadium?
New stadium,
What are you
that's fine.
talking about?
And they're a good little team, right? They did
I don't know if
complete
they're
180.
good, but
What do you mean new stadium, by the way?
The Target Field's fairly new.
Oh, okay. That's what, I thought it meant something else new. I'm like, what did I
Like I
miss?
said, they're a good little team.
They're a good little team. Don't get me wrong. The White Sox haven't found anything yet. They may not find anything, so they may be able to win this division with 85 games. But they're bad. They're not that good.
I wouldn't call them bad. I wouldn't say they're that good either, though. I wouldn't call them bad.
you know what was weird about yesterday? The Yankee offense, although they got 10 runs, it wasn't.
Yes.
It was at the end. They really.
There were
got the
4
fire
errors
under
for
their
the
ass.
Yankees in that game.
Right, and then Tyone didn't have a great game. He had a decent game,
One
which
of his
is that's
worst
fine.
starts of the year, yeah.
Against
But
the
you'll
Twins.
take that. I mean, 4 innings, but look at even the Italian kid who I found out the
The
pronunciation.
Italian kid.
Marinaccio.
Oh, I love that name.
Marinaccio.
Marinaccio.
I should hit that button just for that crappy impression. But
I am a 100.
It's a me, Marinaccio.
I am 100% Italian.
he pitched well. You have Nestor going on the mound tonight, so you'll take it against guess who? Chris Archer.
Oh,
yes,
I like that.
Mr. Big Contract. Do nothing on the mound.
That man, the Pirates.
Part of the worst trade
the
in
Pirates
history.
are so stupid. I can't believe they trade Austin Meadows for that guy.
and Glass
hold
now.
on 1 second.
Now.
Glasnow, Meadows,
For Chris Archer. Oh,
traded Cole, traded Tyone,
Yep.
the
traded
Pirates.
Clay Holmes. Can you think of worse trades?
They let Marte walk.
What did they trade him or did they let him walk?
Oh, they might have traded him at the end. That's right.
Traded Marte,
the
which I don't
Pirates.
really get on them
Wasted
for.
McCutcheon's prime.
Yes.
Wasted McCutcheon. They have. I mean, we talk about some of the worst franchises. They've been terrible. But anyway,
The Pirates and the Phillies are up there. I mean, the Phillies are. Oh my God, they're Phillies. Look at their history. They've been around for 137 years and they've won 2 championships. I think they have only like a 17 divisional title.
5-game winning streak though.
Good for them.
They
Like,
scare
who
me.
cares?
Who cares about 5-game winning streak?
They're
It doesn't matter. They're so far
scary.
behind.
They are scaring me.
Yeah,
Are you
they
being
are.
sarcastic?
No, they actually are scaring
They're
me.
scaring
I'm
me.
serious.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Not
They
worrying me
are.
that much yet.
They're scaring me.
Really? Wow.
Not yet.
They just hit 2 home runs off of Hader. You're not scared
I'm
yet?
not concerned. I'm not concerned yet.
Okay.
How's that Brewers bet going for you?
Oh, Brewers have had a rough little week here. Lost to the Padres. They have a half-game lead in the division now on the Brewers. On the Cardinals, so.
All right. I got the Yankee lineup for you.
Oh,
there we
Then we're going
go.
to get the NBA Finals. DJ LeMahieu playing third. In center field, Aaron Judge. Anthony Rizzo at first. Stanton in right field. Donaldson the DH. Gleyber Torres at second. Aaron Hickson left. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at short. And Kyle Higashioka behind the plate.
Higgy's in, okay.
Yes. Even though they should be playing Trevino with, good pitching with a great framer.
Yeah, why is Higgy
Great
in there?
pitching with a great framer. You got to do that. But regardless, it's going to be another win for the Yankees. Watch them lose tonight. And tomorrow you'll have a hilarious rant from me. But regardless, the NBA Finals, it's taken a while. It's taken
Oh, my
a good
God.
2-3
I
days.
feel like we don't talk about this enough. That's because they play every 4 days.
Which is
There's
ridiculous.
only so much content from the games you can talk
You
about.
can compete against
Tomorrow we'll talk about it
you
a lot,
can
I'm
compete
sure.
against the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody really cares about that outside of New York. You can compete with that, but good. They get their extra rest, kill all the momentum, all those storylines.
Yeah,
But they're back in Boston.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It is cool.
They're back in
What
Boston.
game is this? 3?
Game three.
It feels like it's game 20.
Amazing
All the
that
time
it
that's
took-
passed.
Yeah, the NBA Finals started on Thursday. It's now Wednesday, and we're only played 3 games, and
That's ridiculous.
it's so stupid. But regardless,
Yeah,
that aside, as far as the game goes, there's been a lot of talk. We touched on it a little bit yesterday about the Celtics and them, they've carried the mantle of and the title of being the most physical team in the playoffs, all playoffs. When they swept the Nets, that was the big praise that they were getting. When they got the Bucks out of here and Giannis, and if you remember that series in Game 1 when Giannis beat them in Boston, they started it too. Like, you can't play both sides. Oh, we're this big physical team. We're the bullies. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to push you around. And then when you lose a game and the other team matches that, it's like, oh no, the refs. And then we have Scott Foster officiating today, so we'll see
Chris
how that
Paul's
goes
not
with the
playing. It's
refs.
fine.
No.
But
It's a weird
Chris
turnaround.
Paul should go to the game.
It's a very weird turnaround, right?
Yeah.
For being, like you said, being the tough physical guys and complaining about the refs and Draymond Green. You're complaining about a guy that's notorious for doing stuff like that.
It's crazy. And
He's not even playing well.
No,
he's
No.
not. And that's the concern I have about this Boston team. Yes, they have the skill, and they are a very tough team. I'll
They're
give
young.
them that. But they're young, and then stuff like that. What they're doing, what they did in the aftermath of Game 2 and beyond in this little 2-day break, they might not be all. They're tough physically. I don't know if they're that tough mentally from the things that they're saying.
Yeah.
So it's a young team, but I expect them to play off the home crowd tonight. It's going to be a good one. If I had to pick, I'd probably go Warriors tonight. Well, Golden State's winning one of these games on the road. Mm-hmm.
I think it's going back to 2 no matter who wins what game.
I agree. I 100% agree with that.
They're going to split both games in Boston. Then
Yeah.
it gets really interesting.
Warriors in the Steve Kerr era Steph Curry era too. I think they've won a road game in every series they've played in
Good
since
for
like
them.
2013.
That's tough to do. Good for them.
It's extremely impressive. I expect no different in this series against a young Celtics team that again has talent, but there's red flags that they're giving me. Like, I don't know if they're ready yet against a really battle-tested Golden State team. But tonight should be really good. Should be fun.
I think the atmosphere is. I want to say that the Celtics are going to win tonight just based off of with Draymond and the whole Jaylen Brown incident. They're going to be screaming, Draymond, I want to say that they're going to win on that, but again, if Robert Williams doesn't play well, if Al Horford doesn't play well, they're going to get humiliated.
They just had 2 points last game.
I want more of a game 1 than game 2. Not that I don't really care. I don't really have a dog in the fight, but I want a more competitive game. I want to see. I just like the vibe of game 1 better than game 2. I want to see
100%
more of
agree.
game 1 throughout the whole series. But
It's for anybody watching tonight, the first 5 minutes of the game are going to tell you everything you need to know. Because, again, like you said, Anthony, the Celtics fans are going to be really hard on Draymond Green. If he's acting a fool out there and just loses it and the Warriors get down early.
He gets ejected early or something.
Ejected, they get into his head, he starts doing stuff that Draymond Green should not be doing, then we'll know how the game's going to go. But if they weather that storm early.
Allegedly.
But if the Warriors weather that storm early, they'll be in good shape.
all right, let's go around the room. Who do you think is going to win tonight, Mike?
I think the Warriors will win tonight, and then I completely agree with everybody that it'll go back 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Josh, you're still sticking with the Warriors?
Yeah, Warriors.
Okay.
Golden State wins.
Golden State.
Warriors.
I'm going to go the opposite. No,
Why?
Yeah, because you're different.
Tell me why.
Because there's no other reason why.
There you go. He got it. Okay, you got what I was throwing down.
All
There you go.
right, so that's going to do it for us today. From Michael Merlo, Josh Umahi, Matt Leonard, and Ross Levine, I'm Anthony Deus saying good night, New York, wherever you are.